we did see how do we create a function. What is, I mean, we have learned about the function module and in the types of the function modules and the steps for creating the function modules. Like we created the function groups, and later that we activated the function group, and we added the function module. We added the function module. Okay, so we added this in this function group. We added the function module. Fine. So let me just go through that. Go to SC80 transaction. Try to go for the function group. Yeah, this is the function group we used in the last class. And this is the function module I have created. I just want to have a recap of this. You can see here. So I created a function module in SC37 transaction, and I gave like select single star from Mara into E underscore material where matner equal to I underscore matner. So it means I created the importing parameter. I created the exporting parameter. Importing parameter is of type matner. Exporting parameter is of a type this Mara. Mara means the Mara structure. We are going to send a single record back to the program. So the understanding here is what? When I click on this execute button, in the test directory I saved one variant. I gave one material number over here to the function module. It will take that material number as an input to the function module. Now click on execute button. When you click on execute button, you will be able to see the corresponding output for this material number 13. You can see here, open this structure. You will be able to see the relevant information from that Mara table. So all this content belong to the what? These fields are from Mara table. If you want, what you can do, you can go to SC11 transaction, go to Mara table, click on display. You can just compare the structure. Just try to compare the structure. You'll find both of them are same or relevant. You can see here the structure. You see MANDT, Matner, ERSDA, ERNAM, ERNAM. So because E underscore material I declared as Mara, it means the components of this Mara will be available under E underscore material. So everything relevant to this Mara, these fields, how many fields are there here? If you look at this Mara table, 294 fields are there. Here you will find 294 fields also here. You will have those 294 fields available in the structure also. So if the data is available in that fields, that will be retained. I mean, that will be fetched in your select query. Okay, so this is how the output we are getting. The same thing, what I did, I try to use this function module in a program. So in which program I used? Okay, just put your cursor here. Click on this where used list. Okay, and just try to check everything. If you want to find the where used, I mean, where is your function module used? Do you want it find in all the areas? Okay, if you want to find in all the areas, if you want to search in all the areas, check all those check boxes. If you don't need, you want only in programs, check only programs. Just say okay. You see, this is my program where my function module is used. So double click on this. Double click on this. And you see, here is the program where I used it. Here is the program where I used my. Here is a program where I used my function module, where I use the function module. Right? Okay. So if you see, let me go to this program. So this is the program, actual program name. So let me copy this program. Now from here, I'll go back to SC38, use the program name. So just see batch call FM star. This is my program name. So what I did in the last what I did in the last class, you see, I created a top include, I created a selection screen, I created a include for calling the function module. Okay, so you can see here in the get data, you can see in the get data here I am calling this function module. Right, how it looks like. Look here, I'm providing the material number. In fact, I might have taken the variant 91. Now click on execute button. I'm getting the data. I'll just try to show you debugging this. Execute it. Provide the material number. Now click on execute button. Click on the execute button. And you see, now press F5. Look here, P underscore Matner is the parameter in the program. 091 is the material number, 91 is the material number I'm giving. I'm passing this material number to the function module. So listen carefully. We are passing this material number to the function module, passed from the program. This material number will go and sit in I underscore Matner field of this function module. Now press F5. Look here, I underscore Matner. I underscore Matner has the value 91, which is that we are passing from P underscore Matner. So P underscore Matner value is passed to I underscore Matner. So the select query will execute. The result of the select query is placed in E underscore material. Now press F5. If you go to E underscore material structure, you will find the details. Okay, fetched from the table. Right? So then size aperture not equal to 0, then we are saying no data found, but now data is there. Size aperture value is 0. Now press F5. Now you'll be back to your program. Now you're back to your program. Now look here, E underscore material content was filled. E underscore material content was filled, and in function module, you see that value will be passed to W underscore Mara. You see this one, WA underscore Mara. W underscore Mara. And you see the data is there over here. Data is there over here. The same thing we are printing. I am printing the material number and the ERSDA. Okay. You are getting that data in the output. So this is what we have seen in the last class. So about building the function module and calling the function module. Okay. So in today's session, we'll see further. There is one more program developed. I will show you that program relevant to the function module only, like how do we have the range of materials, etc. things that we'll see in the today's session. So hope this is clear with everyone about the quick recap of the last lesson. Okay, so right, so this is a program. This is a new program. You can see here I'm explaining here on the import single record, import multiple records, changing parameters and exception. So let me go into the program and I will show you the function module that is built in this example. You can see here, this is the function module, right? So I go to SC37 transaction and put that function module name, click on display. Let us try to see the importing parameters, exporting parameters. You can see here importing parameters. I have taken, this is for single material. Okay, single material. When you are choosing the radio button as single material, if I execute this program, if I'm choosing the radio button as a single record, then I'm passing the data to IB underscore Matner. If I'm choosing import multiple records, in that case, I'm passing the values for from and to. Okay, so this is for range of materials. Now look here in the exporting parameter. If it is single record, you're exporting only single record. In the changing parameters, okay, I'll come to that point later. If you see in the tables section, I'm using Mara. I'm using et underscore Mara. I am using this Mara as a table. When I use in the tables section, in the table section, in the table section, if I'm using in the table section, if I'm using any variable, and if I say Mara, then this et underscore Mara will become an internal table of type Mara. Okay? It will become internal table of Mara. Internal table of type Mara. If you click on this Mara, you can see here the table. This will become the table structure et underscore Mara. Okay, this will become like the Mara will become like et underscore Mara. So this is the table section. If you see in the exceptions, also I added material. If there is no material, material does not exist. Materials are not found. Okay, materials not found. Materials not found. So these are the two exceptions. These are the two exceptions. Okay, fine. So this is the function module. You can see here, if IV underscore matter is not initial, means this one IV underscore matter. If this is not initial, then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take IV underscore matter is not initial. I'm trying to fetch a record from Mara table and putting into E underscore Mara. Such a person not equal to 0. In this case, if there is no material found, I'm raising an exception, no material. Okay, so this is the exception. We are handling this material handling exception in the program. I'll show you how we are handling that in the program. Similarly, when you are importing parameters, matter from matter to is there, matter from and matter to is there. If when that is done, when you have the values for matter from and matter to, then this piece of code will execute. We will say select from Mara into table et underscore Mara, where matter between, I will say between because I have the value at the from, I have the value in the to. Okay, value from, value to, right? Value from and value to. So this is how we give for from and to. This is called as a range. This is called as a range. So there is one more concept called ranges that I'll explain you later. That will come with the range table. We call it as a range table. I'll explain you how can we handle this from and to in the later session, along with the example with respect to the range tables. But now currently, let us look into this between. It means this is from and this is to. So in this case, if this select query executes, then we'll be having the data in et underscore Mara internal table. Okay, Mara internal table. If there is no data found, then we are raising the exception. Okay, this is in case of importing from and to into the function model. Now, next thing is check changing parameters. Check changing parameters. So for checking the changing parameters, if you see the program, if you look into the program, the changing parameters is this. Changing parameter is that. So in case of changing parameters, okay, in case of changing parameters, what we are trying to do, we are trying to pass the data. We are trying to get the data. We are trying to get the data, and we are passing that data to this function module. Okay, we are passing the data to the function module. In the function module, if changing is checked, okay, if you see in the changing, we have this C underscore material. We have a parameter. Okay, C underscore material, right? So in the C underscore material list, if you see this associated structure, this is the data dictionary structure that is created over here, like a material number, material type, industry sector, material group, basic unit of measure, and language and material description. So this is simply a structure created. Don't worry about this. Okay, don't worry about this structure. Either here you can use even your Mara structure also, right? So when the data dictionary topic comes, I will explain you about this. Here, what you can do in your example, you can use Mara structure, not a problem. Anything relevant to the Mara can be used over here. So now, if that is checked, if that is checked, then if that is checked, then what you're trying to do? You're trying to fetch data from this MAKT table, and we are trying to fetch the data into this C underscore material structure, and we are sending that back. We are sending that back. We are just only getting the material number over here. We are getting only the material number over here, and we are filling the C underscore material structure here in the changing parameters, and we are sending it back. Okay, so this is the other way. This is the other way. Okay, so simply speaking, in changing materials, what you can do is you can bring the data from your program. You can bring the data from your program, and if you want to make any changes, you can do the change here in the changing parameter section. If that is available in the changing parameter section, whichever the parameter is there, you can change the data for that parameter in the changing section. If something is, for example, if something is there in the export parameter here, this you cannot change. This is not allowed to change. Only something in the changing parameters you can change. Okay, this changing parameter can allow you a single record, can allow you a multiple record, can allow you a single record, can allow you a multiple record. Okay, it can allow you a single record, it can allow you a multiple record. So that happens with respect to the changing parameters. Okay, so yeah, so finally, if there is no data found, we are displaying the message like no data found for the selection. So this is what we have built in the program. So let me show you here. When it is radio button 1, single, I'm calling a subroutine, single importing. In single importing, you can see here, I'm calling the function module, passing the relevant information and printing the data in the output. Similarly, if the radio button 2 is selected, it means multiple importing, means multiple materials importing. In the multiple importing, I'm trying to call the function module, I'm passing the from, and I'm passing the two values. I'm getting the data and printing the data in the output. That is the other thing. Next thing is changing the data. If you are selecting the radio button 3, then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to select the data for that material. I'm passing that material details to this function module. And what I'm trying to do in the function module, I'm trying to change the structure of that respective material. It means if you see here, we are fetching only material number, MTRT, MBRSS, MATKL, and MEINS. If you see this structure, let us go to this structure. You can see here SPRAAS, MAKTX. Look here. These two fields are not available in our program. These two fields are not available in our program. You can see I am fetching only these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fields data I am fetching. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fields are getting fetched. And what about these two? The 2 fields data I am trying to fetch. If I go to this, the 2 fields data, you can see here the changing materials. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to fetch the 2 fields data, and I'm trying to update that as well. You can see select single star MAKTX from MAKT into corresponding fields of C underscore material. So that gets filled. That gets filled over here. And the same thing you will be able to print it in the output. The same thing will go back to your program, and that you'll be able to see the data in the output. So that is how the example here will make you understand the concept of calling the function modules in different ways. So I would suggest you to go through this function module and see how it behaves. So for now time being, I already explained you about this single structure in my previous example. I'll go for this multiple example, multiple importing. Let me execute this. I'll say multiple records. Now click on execute button. Let us try to debug this and see. Try to debug this and see. You see here in the multiple importing. Now press F5. Now look here, from and to. Directly I have given the values of from and to. If you want, you can make them as a parameters also. You can view them in the selection screen. It's up to you. Now 31, 50. Now look here, IT Mara. IT Mara is internal table. It has 0 records. You can see here 0 records. Now I press F5. Now when I press F5, look here, it checks whether it is for single extract or not. You see, IV Matner is empty. So it skips the condition. Now it looks for IV Matner from IV Matner to. Look here, 31 and 50. 31 and 50. It means this section of the code will execute. Now press F5. Press F5 and you can see your internal table. What is internal table here? ET underscore Mara. It is now empty. Now when I press F5, you can see 17 records extracted between 31 and 50. Okay, if you want, you can verify these details, guys. Go to ST11 transaction. Go to Mara table. Now press F5. Now click on execute button, I mean the contents button, and contents icon. Now take this record number 31 is the material number, and take this 50 and click on number of entries. You see how many entries are there? 17 entries are there. Right? The same thing you're getting here, right? In the ET underscore Mara table, you're getting 17 entries. So your count in the select query should match with the count here in the table. So what is that we are trying to do? At least you should now understand. I'm trying to give a range of materials in between 31 to 50 and I'm getting 17. The same thing we are doing it programmatically. I'm passing from material as 31 and passing the to material as a 50. The same thing I did here. And I'm getting the data of 17 records. I'm getting the data of 17 records here in the table as well. The same thing we are doing through program. Okay. Now press F5. And what happens now? Your ET Mara is filled with 17 records. Now press F5. Now look here. When you look here, press F5. You'll be going back to your program. Now you're in the program. You can see IT underscore Mara. It is filled with 17 records. You can see 17 records are filled. The same thing we are printing in the output. Look here. These are the 17 records. We are trying to print them in the output. You are printing that in the output. Printing that in the output. Right? So this is how we generally write the I mean we generally write the code corresponding to that function modules. And moreover, if you observe here, we have moreover, if you see here in this, give me a moment. Multiple importing, yeah. So if you see this, in the from underscore material, I am trying to execute this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, I'm just in the debugging, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to just change this content. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give a value where that value is not existing in the database table. Let us suppose. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make this select query false. False means fail. Okay. Now press F5. You see size subars equal to 4. Size subars equal to 4. Size subars equal to 4. It means it failed. When it failed, what is happening here? When size bar is not equal to 0, raise materials not found. Now press F5. Means this exception will be raised. Press F5. Okay, look here. I'm back to my program. You see, what is the size bar C here? It became, see, size bar C is 2. Okay, it means this is the exception that is raised. This is the exception that is raised. So when this is raised, I have to handle this exception. So how I'm going to handle it? So in the program, what I'm trying to do in the program, so in the multiple importing, here what I say, size bar is equal to 2. I'll say very simple, case psi hyphen sub bar c. Okay, when it is 1, what I'm trying to do, I'll try to say message no material found. Type I'm just passing it as an information. When size bar is 2, what I will try to do, I'll say materials not found. I'll say materials. Simply, I'll say it as materials not found. Okay, I try to activate this. Now I try to put a breakpoint over here. Now try to execute this program. I select multiple records. Now press F5. Now I will make this condition as false. Now press F5. We are here. I say I'll try to edit. You see how I am editing. You can do the same thing while you debug your program. If you want to edit the content, you can edit it. Just click on this pencil button, edit, and hit enter. If you hit enter, whatever you change will be saved. Right? Now press F5. Size bar C is not equal to 0. It is 4. Now what is raised? Materials not found is raised. Now press F5. Now you are back to your program. Look here. Case size bar C. Now materials not found is exception. Here size bar C value is 2. Now press F5. Now case size bar C, which is 2. 2 means this should raise. Now press F5. When 2, materials not found, type I. Now executes. You see, materials not found exception. So the exceptions will basically makes the users to understand the issue rather the program terminating abnormally. When you run a program, if terminates abnormally, the user will not understand what is the issue in that program. Rather than you can handle the abnormal termination of the program by introducing the concept of exceptions, and you can display such kind of messages. It can be information message, it can be a warning message, it can be error message, whatever it is. You can handle it. Okay, so that is how you have to design your exception technique as well. And in the concept of exception, what I did, just nothing. I just mentioned the exception name and some kind of description I gave it. That's it. And in the code, when size subversive values are not equal to 0, I'm saying just raise exception name and just raise exception name. The same exception name, what I'm trying to do here, I'm handling it explicitly. When it is an exception 1, then this is a message I need to see. When it is message exception 2, then this is a message I need to see. Okay, so this is how you will have to handle the concept of exceptions. Right? So this is the best example corresponding to the calling of the function module in the various scenarios, like single importing, multiple, and in the changing also. And let me also show you what is happening with respect to the changing. Click on execute button. I'll go to changing. And let us see in this example. Now press F5. Now this is your material number. What is the material number here? 28 is a material number. Now press F5. If you go to the structure, which is filled into the work area, you can see the last two fields are not filled. The other fields are filled. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to press F5, go to the function module. When it is C underscore material, okay. So I'm selecting this. You can see here in the C underscore material, you are passing the data. You are passing the data that comes from your program. And look here, after executing this statement, if you see, the last two fields will be filled with the data. The remaining fields will be as it is, and the last two fields will be filled with the data. The same structure, we are sending it back to the program. Look here. Now when I execute it, you will see the last two fields are filled with data. So what we are trying to do in this example? In this example, we are passing data from program to function module. Only this fields are passed to the function module. Only these fields are passed to the function module. In the function module, we are populating these two fields data and updating the same work area. We are sending this back to the program and we are printing that in the output like this. Okay, only this information is available in the program. We are sending this to the function module. Corresponding to this material, I have written a select query, passed that values of SPRAS and MAKTX into the same work area structure. I am passing it back. So what did you understand? You understood? You are passing this data to a function module. You are making the relevant changes. If you want, you can make the changes on the function module. I mean, in the data in the pass it to the function module, and you can send it back. You can send it back. The same thing what we are trying to do it here. Okay, you can if you want, you can try to send some 10 records. You can try to send 10 records to the function module. In the function module, you can delete 1 or 2 records, and the latest data you can send it back to the program. Okay, fine. So there is also an example for the raise exception also. The same thing I explained you now. Okay. So, I mean, the concept is same. The case I subRC when 1, when a message, and when 2, there is some kind of message. Right? So this is an example. Refer this example and try to work on this program as well. Like how do we call the function modules and you can get expertized with this respect to the function modules. And apart from these function modules, what we generally have is we have some concepts called as BAPIs. Okay, we have some concept called as BAPI, which is also called as a function module, but we call it as an RFC. We will call it as like an RFC. Click on display. Click on display. If you click on display, you can see in the attribute section. You can see that function module is the processing type of the function module is selected as remote enabled function module. Means we call it as an RFC, remote function call. This is called as a remote enabled function module. It means when it is remote enabled function module, the meaning is this function module can be called from SAP to SAP. It can be called within SAP to SAP. Also, it can be called from SAP to non-SAP also. It can be called from SAP to non-SAP also. But in our example, in the example which I told you here, if you see in the attribute section, I used only it as a normal function module. It is not a remote enabled function module because I want this usage only in my system, in my application server. Here within the system I want to use. I don't want this to be exposed to the outside world. When I talk about the BAPIs, when I talk about BAPI, these BAPIs are like business application programming interface. These are called as APIs, API, application programming interfaces. It means they can be called in other systems as well. APIs can be called in other systems as well. Okay, so these are the standard BAPIs given to us by SAP. We will learn about these BAPIs in the later sessions whenever required, and also in your program. In your program, if you want to use this BAPI, you can use this as a normal function module. It means, see, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to pass a material number, trying to get the same thing you are doing it here. You can do it here also. You can see here. If I go to this, it also says a material number and provides some material number, some 39 or something. Click on execute button, right? If you click on execute button, you can see here, it will take you to the transaction code called MM03 transaction. Okay, it takes you to the transaction. I mean, the transaction code is like MM03, the transaction code for material. It will take you to the transaction code. You'll be able to see that material details over here. Okay, we will see this in later sessions about the functionality of MM01, 02, 03 later. But what I'm trying to say you is that you can also use the concept of BAPIs also. BAPIs also can be used. Okay, in place of your these function modules, you can even use the standard BAPIs if they are available. And moreover, for this BAPIs, SAP has given the documentation also. You can see here there is an icon called help on. You click on this documentation. Sorry, you can see the function module documentation here. Function module documentation. You can try to get some insight of that function module details as well. Okay, and guys, one more thing. There is something called ABAP docu. ABAP docu is the transaction code. Okay, in the ABAP docu transaction code, you will have, this is like a help, or this is like a help on the ABAP language. You can have some information corresponding to everything available in the ABAP. The transaction code is ABAP docu. You can run it, you can open it. You will have some best examples of this best examples that can be that you can use. You can see ABAP examples. You can see many things are there over here. You can see AMDP, parameter binding, object-oriented things, etc. things, ABAP index. So likewise, you have many things available for your learning. Okay, you can try to see switch type, and moreover, what you can the best way is, for example, in my program, let us suppose I want to I just wanted to go to call screen. Let us suppose parameters is there. Okay, just select parameters and press F1. Select parameters and press F1. You press on F1, you will get the help corresponding to that parameters. You see parameters. You can see the parameters. The syntax is there. Type options, screen options, value options. Some you'll learn a lot of things in these parameters. And also you can see selection screen begin of, selection screen include. There are many examples available over here. So the way, however, you want to make use of it, you can make use of it. No need to approach anyone for any doubt, anything. You will have everything defined or declared inside your ABAP docu transaction code, and you can learn a lot using this detail which is provided over here. Okay, you will have an examples also. Hopefully for everything there will be an example provided at the bottom, but only one thing is that you need to just look into it. Okay, you can see here, you see this is for add selection screen and help request for this field. You see execute debug ABAP editor. If you click on ABAP editor, it will take you to the standard program. With respect to this example, you see demo selection screen F1. Just click on execute button. It will show you the fields. Press F1. Press F4. You will have some output. Look here. This is the standard program given to by SAP. So likewise, you can directly execute from here also. And if you want to debug, you can debug it. So this is the best place where you can explore more corresponding to your requirement. Okay, so the transaction code is ABAP docu. ABAP docu is the transaction code. Just make a note of this. ABAP docu, DOCU docu, documentation. So you will get help of everything. If you want help of radio button, now press F1. You'll get the syntax, example, everything relevant to the radio button will be available over here. You can see. You can see there is an example at selection screen, start of selection. So this will be like more helpful to you whenever you stuck with some kind of, when you are stuck technically. Yeah, that's about today's session. We will see further a new topic or new concepts in tomorrow's class.